Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday. Tuesday's normally creator request day, but today we're going to take a slight variation and go back to the old standard request because Uncle Ron suggested this particular map for a very specific reason. I think it's a very good idea that we shoehorn it to the top of the list. You see, it's a creator we've done once in the past, a review that you probably have forgotten about because it was a while ago and it wasn't the most visually striking of maps. But it was a technical marvel. It stood out so much that after much consideration, and there was a lot of consideration, so many good maps last year, that I made this creator's last map as my map of the year for 2021. Now this map is...
It's my first map.
That's right. Uncle Ron said why not have a look at their very first map? So we'll do that. I'm expecting it to be slightly more clunky than the second map because it's a first map. But it is still exceptional. And what do we do with exceptional things? Think about it. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me feel a little bit more exceptional every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Rotterdam, a 1:1 scale by Pz.Magnus. Could be Pz.Magnus, but I feel PZ is the way to go with this. There's your start location right there. It's Rotterdam. It's going to be lots of harbours and waters and stuff, of course. It's also in Dutchland, and Dutchland is pretty flat land, so it's going to be a pretty flat map. Maybe good for an airport. There's your resources. I'm expecting nothing in the city centre. There's a little bit around the outside if you've got the 81 tiles and want to do that. And then if you're doing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to doing some fishing, that's it. Get the words out, Bonbon. There's your fishing map. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. We've got generic tree pack, a couple of custom bridges, and network extensions too, which we'll talk about briefly on the flyover. Because I have to, really, don't we? I have to. Anyway, really nicely written description. I mean, a very nicely written description. It's a technical map. Don't expect any glossy, fantastical histories or anything like that. It's just all there, everything that you're going to want to know. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Down to ground level. So, edge of map. Why are we going to such quality of technical placement on the edge of map? The answer, Pz.Magnus. Yeah, this as a first map is very, very good as well, but we're kind of expecting that with the quality of the second map. They're not going to come in to a second map with a really poor first map, are they? Now, a few of you are going to recognise that some of the terrain work is slightly more clunky on this map than on their second map. But again, it's to be expected. Progression. They would have done this one and gone, do you know what? I think on my next map I can do that a little bit better, and that a little bit better, and that a little bit better. So there are things that can be done better. We'll accept that one. But on the whole, we're talking some very nice standards. And yes, the highways and everything all match up. And all the intersections look like they're supposed to. And we've got lane mathematics. And it's all feeling very good indeed. This road heads off to a tunnel that heads out under the river. Up that way. There it is. We'll have a look at, I'm not sure if it's that tunnel or another tunnel a little bit later on, because there's stuff to talk about. Now, speaking about talking about things, which is basically what I'm here to do, otherwise it's just a quiet flyover. Network extensions too. So yes, now this map was released before all the hoo-ha and all the suggestions that we steer clear of network extensions too, because it has the potential in the future, if not already, to break your game. Now, as you can see, it doesn't break my game yet. It is a combination of how this will work with other mods. I do have a tutorial out there telling you how to upgrade your roads using Ron, the network replacer. So you might want to watch that one. Lots of lanes going on here. Lots of lanes. Or we'll have a little look at this road that cuts through it. Okay, incomplete intersection because we're not putting every road on the map, but you can see where that road is due to go. And using an overlay, and overlays are available, you can follow that. You can continue doing the job that's been started so expertly by Pz.Magnus. There's also a lot of lines here. A lot of rail lines there. Again, looking at the top down of the real life map, you'd be able to see that. But we're not going to do that today. We're not going to do that today. I mean, maybe we'll have a look at something a bit later on, mate. I know you want to see a one-to-one. We'll do something a bit later on, okay? So yes, Network Extensions 2. I'm not going to mark the map down because it was released before all of the hoo-ha. But it is something definitely to consider if you take the map on to maybe upgrade. I'm going to say I have no problems with Network Extensions 2 at this time. But you never know when a mod is going to come along and conflict with it. And as this mod won't be updated, then it is very much time to move on if you have the opportunity. And if you're making a map now and you're in the process of putting Network Extensions 2 roads on it, I recommend choose some other roads before you finalize and make your final decisions. But it's time to move on. It's time to move. It's been a great mod and a much loved mod, and again, regulars to the show will know that I am absolutely in love with the rendered tunnels on Network Extensions 2. It was like, how does this magic work? I mean, yeah, we see it even more and more and more now, but how does this magic work? I mean, you can see seeing right through the tunnel to the other side. It's like, what is going on? And speaking of tunnels, we're going to see a tunnel in a minute. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now this bit down here, if this wasn't a real life location, I would question, why are we coming out? We go in the little ditch there. Then we come out back up to ground level, and then we drop back down into the tunnel. Now, do you know what? It feels so slickly done that I maybe wouldn't have even mentioned that. Maybe, possibly. A hexagon roundabout, a hexagabout maybe. Is that a hexagabout? Not sure. I'm sure it's got a name in Dutch. I'll be trying some Dutch later on during the factoids. I'm probably going to say something very rude, not intentionally, but hey, listen, Englishman speaking Dutch, it's going to go very badly. Anyway, we've got a couple of custom bridges. Custom bridges are very nice. The second one is that one there with the orange on it. Which you never see anything orange in Holland or any of the Netherlands, do you? No. I wonder why that is. I'm just kidding. It's all orange. It's all orange in the Netherlands. Bless them. You know what? How many other countries? Oh, was that a bit of blue mantle down there? Oh, no, it's just the height and the angle I was at. Ignore that. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, how many other countries do you associate with a colour? You know, New Zealand, maybe black. But black's a shade, isn't it? Not a colour. But yeah, New Zealand with the All Blacks. The Dutch with orange. And, Ireland. Ireland. Infamously yellow. I'm feeling very naughty today. Anyway, carrying on. I'm sure there are more countries. Let me know in the comments any countries that you associate very specifically with a colour. Okay? That would, if you say that colour, if I say blue, it can only be associated. I mean, blue. I'm thinking France, but I'm also thinking Italy. Are there any colours where you say a colour and there is only really one country that you can think of? I mean, Ireland green. Any other countries that somebody's going to say to me, green, England is green and pleasant land, as you say all the time, BonBon. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm looking at the rail here. I mean, the rail's spot on, isn't it? I'll waffle on about the colourblind presenter talking about colours. Anyway. Yeah, any other colour? I'm thinking now. I'm thinking brown, red. Ooh, I'm trying to think whether I was going to say China, but I'm also thinking Russia. And these are very. Problem is that there's a limited number of colours, and primary colours are very much claimed by everybody, aren't they? But yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's what comments are for. Lots of lines here. All of this is very good. Okay, all of this is very good. This one, there's nothing for me to criticise. I mean, short of doing more research on Rotterdam to be able to tell you specifically what part of Rotterdam we're in, which I could have done if I had a bit more time, but of course there's only a limited amount of time for each review, and just finding a factoid is about as much review as I can do. Oh, fire engine. There's one for the BonBonBingo players. Tick off BonBonBingo. Link in the description if you ever want to play along, checking off the memes on the show. Sorry, there'll be no Essential Lighthouse today, and no Everybody's Favourite Factory, unless of course you want to cheat and say, because I've said them, they count. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, and a little bit of catenary chaos going on there, and of course that bit of blue mantle that you may argue has to be counted because we weren't too high and too far away, so there is that, but it's just one of those glitchy bits of roads that I think we can live with. Meanwhile, a brief intermission.
Are you bored with the standard vanilla bridges? Have you seen those lovely custom bridges but don't know how to use them? Ooh, very nice. Then you need a beginner's guide to custom bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And back to the shipping routes at Rotterdam 1:1 scale by Pz.Magnus. Magnus. Oh, my life, it's getting worse. Anyway, yes, we have this one shipping route which does all the things you want it to do here, but then you have the main shipping route, which is absolutely perfectly on point. You can get into all of the harbours, there's no stupid crossovers, there's nothing, and we have nothing going through any low bridges as well, which is all good. Are we okay with that, more or less? Then we have Waterflow. Waterflow is strong, and going through the start square is strong, and it's flowing downstream in real life as well, which is just an obvious thing to do, but you'd be surprised. If this is your first show, you'd be surprised. Okay, plenty of pre-cut harbours today, and if you're looking to do a harbour city, this is definitely worth looking at. It's the biggest harbour, the biggest port, in Europe, and for a long while the biggest port in the world. No longer, clearly, because that's gone over to China. But yeah, we've got some very nice waterways as well, because canals, and some wetland areas as well. It's lovely. Lovely, lots of good technical work. Let's talk about a couple of the minor, the slightly off-point bits. Like here, we've got this bridge, and it doesn't appear to have any support in the middle. I feel that a bridge that long would need some support in the middle. Of course, Cities Skylines doesn't really matter because it's going to support itself with no supports. But listen, we're just finding fault, okay? Here, yeah, we could need... This is the sort of problem that we didn't see in Arnhem. It's a first map, and it's slightly glitchy with the harbour cuts. And also the smooth cuts, even the smooth cuts like this, just a little bit glitchy. Very hard to do very well because of what it is. Now, this is my big grumble with this map. My big grumble, this tunnel entrance looks perfect, doesn't it? I mean, look, it bends off and goes through under there. But... And look, I'm really picking here. It just drops away. I'd like to see that tunnel entrance go in on a smooth line all the way through. That is probably the worst thing with the map, if you exclude the little bit of hint of blue mantle that we had earlier. Then we have some good tree painting. Again, this is obviously from the overlay. Lots of use of the prop line tool, or possibly tree anarchy now. All of that is very neat as well. And lots of lovely water areas. If you're not going to recreate Rotterdam, you can do some fun stuff with this area over here, of course. Or if you're going to recreate Rotterdam, you can do what's supposed to go there. And have a look here in terms of water. A little bit of missing water here. I'm not breaking a sweat, but there's your real life location compared to the in-game version. And it's, like I say, you can see how accurate and close it is. I'm not complaining about that. Oh, while I'm thinking about colours, any colours that are named after a specific, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if there's sort of like cerulean, which is a blue, if that happens to be a name of a town where the colour came from, well, maybe we can allow that. Oh, Start Square. Start Square. We've got the asset of the day. Now, there's a whole pack of these things at the moment from Avanya. Avanya, old friend of the show, great creator. I've seen some of these in network form as well. This is just a couple of parks that are popped back to back to give us a little bit of shape. Beautiful work, which we expect no less from Avanya. And factoids, because factoids. At the Black, or the Black, near the Oud Haven in Rotterdam, you can find some unusual buildings. There are 38 cube houses and 13 cubes used for businesses. The cubes were designed by the architect Pz.Magnus and were built from 1982 to 1984. One of the cubes is open for visits, so you can see these extraordinary houses and what they look like from the inside. Maybe I'll upload a little image right now just to show you a cube house. Small terrace planter ZZ brick by Avanya, one of many of this sort of thing from Avanya in this week. Do check out their workshop page. Great creator. And so we pull the camera back and we find a location for that thumbnail. And while I do that, I ask you, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think it looks like what it needs to look like. We're not talking anything really beautiful here, and of course we are 100% vanilla, which doesn't help with the aesthetics either. I would say it's nothing special. This map isn't built on the aesthetics, is it? It's, for me, a slightly above middle 3. It does look like the area, that's what takes it slightly above. The detailing is on point for accuracy, but there's lots of niggly bits that just need cleaning up, which didn't happen in Arnhem so much. So for that, I'm going to go 4 stars because the accuracy is right on point. Expect no less. But I'm going to go at the bottom end of 4 stars. It deserves a 4th star. Gameplay, if there wasn't so many little things to clean up, I would go 5 stars. The few things that there are to clean up, there's a few too many for it to be 5 stars. I'm going to go a very high 4 stars, whether you're looking to do a recreation or just a regular build. Rotterdam 1:1 scale by Pz.Magnus. All of those things said, I'm still going to give it the BonBonB seal of approval, because I see this as a very strong map. Again, a very strong map. It's not visually appealing, but it's strong and it's technically so good. It's technically... Pz.Magnus, great creator. Great creator. Be interesting to see if they could take on some maps that aren't Dutch inspired. How many of those could you eat? Are you still here? Oh, good. Use that word of the day in the comments to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. Yes, you are an elitist if you get to this point, and you should be proud of it. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.